Hi everyone, it's Pokemon Hunter, and today I am bringing you the first episode of my Hunt for 100 Shinies. So as you can see, I am in an encounter with a luvdisc in Pokemon Y. I am chain fishing at the moment. I was actually thinking of starting my video off with the shiny encounter, but it's taking a lot longer than I expected, so I figure I may as well just record the rest of it so that you get the shiny reaction in there as well. So, um, that's what there is. It's going to be soon, though, I'm guessing, because I've got a pretty good sized chain. This is probably my longest chain fishing chain, and at this point, I'm either unlucky or I've been doing something that I didn't realize I was doing that's breaking my chain. So, with that said, I am going to turn on my game's audio now that I'm done with the introduction part, because I wanted to turn the game's audio off so you could actually hear me. I'm actually using the it helps me to hear the little noise it makes when you've got the fish on your line thing. So I just turned that off so you could hear me. I'm going to turn it on, though not quite as loud as I had it before. So also, when I do get a shiny, just a fair warning, I am not using a recording card or something of that nature. I'm actually using a tablet, so that's why you can only see part of the top screen and it's not, perfect. I'm getting it as good as I can, but like you can see, it just fell then, though that was actually because I was messing with it. If I do get a shiny, fair warning, I may accidentally knock this down during my shiny reaction. So if during the shiny reaction the screen goes black, that's not me cutting the video so I can hack in a shiny reaction or shiny encounter or something like that. All these shinies encounters should be legitimate. I am not saying in these videos all my shinies are legit. I am saying that the shiny encounters are all going to be legit, and if I count it for my 100 Pokemon that are shiny thing, it's going to be a legit shiny. Otherwise, I would be like halfway there, because I've gotten so many hacked shinies from trades. And Pokemon that may not be hacked, but I've got no way of knowing because it's from a trade. So, that's what I'm doing with this. So obviously when I do get the shiny luvdisc, that's going to be counting for it. I've yet to do a count, so I'm going to have to tally up all my shinies. So tomorrow's episode, I will probably reveal my total number of shinies. My total overall number of shinies, I'm guessing, is around 50. That's just a general guess. So it's a good number. But, like I said, a lot of those aren't legit. A good number of them are. Like, I've chained a good number of things using the SOS method. I've bred 2 shinies, and so I've gotten some shinies of my own. I'm not lazy, but I've gotten shinies from trays as well. So, also, with the Ultra Wormhole shinies, I just figured I should probably say, I'm not going to count every single wormhole shiny I have. If I have, I will count the wormhole shiny the first time, but not if I get duplicates, because I do have duplicates. Like, actually today, I wasn't able to record at the time, but today I caught my second shiny Abomasnow. And I've got like 3 shiny Altarias, something like that. You can get a lot of duplicates. So I'll count it the first time, but the second time, no. For any other shiny, though, I will count it the second time. Like, I've got 2 shiny Crobats right now. I got them looking for a shiny Aron, which I still haven't found. I was putting serious thought into just kind of ditching that hunt and breeding for it, but I think that I'm going to finish that hunt off on camera, just to be persistent, really. Because I'm not just going to ditch a shiny hunt like that. I've had long, annoying shiny hunts, though this one's been longer and more annoying than most. Partially because, like I said, I had 2 shiny Zubats. the second one, I didn't even really have a shiny reaction. I was just like, oh, it's a shiny Zubat. That's sad. It was something like that. It's just very, very frustrating. And I'm not the most patient person to begin with. But then again, I did actually manage to do 500 encounters for my shiny Absol, so I might be able to pull it off. Those are Dex Nav encounters too, which for Absol take forever, because for the first like 250 of those, I didn't even realize that you needed to chain to guarantee another encounter. I figured that out later, but enough of me blabbering, let's get to shiny hunting. So if you see my hand going in front of the screen, I'm sorry, it's gonna happen. I'm working on getting a recording card or something. So, we have to see how long it takes. No, that's not shiny. That would have been funny if that had been shiny. Probably the only thing more funny would be the reaction. But I'm guessing I'm not actually going to wind up touching the... I'm not going to actually touch the camera during my shiny reaction, I'm guessing. What I'm guessing is going to happen, this may or may not actually do anything to the screen, is I'm going to jump, and it's going and kick the desk, which is going to upset the camera. So, just a theory. So, also, I'm just starting out my channel. This is not my first YouTube channel. I've done it before, not really that successfully, but I've done it before. I have a vague idea of what I'm doing. So, if you guys have any suggestions at all for my channel, please feel free to put those in the comments, like things you want me to do. I've got a few things planned to do, which I'm probably just going to put in this video, just because I need people to see them before I start doing them. And so the first thing is, what the next shiny hunt after this I've planned, assuming I get my shiny luvdisc and all is well with the world in this video, I'm going to start horde hunting Roggenrola in the Reflection Cave. And I'm guessing that you've probably noticed I have not beat this game yet. This is like my third playthrough of this game. It's a fun game. And what I always do with it is, like, if I've got any, like, Gen 6 Pokemon that I just don't want to mess with, I don't want to train them up, but I don't want to have to go to the trouble of training them up in, like, Alpha Sapphire or something. And I want them good. I can send them down to this game, beat it again, and then do it. But I'm actually kind of regretting not finishing this game, because now I'm realizing that I probably should do the Friend Safari deal, because I'm realizing how many rare Pokemon you can get off of that, so now I'm regretting that I didn't really try it. I heard, when I read about it, I heard 1,200 encounters or something over the thousands in the encounters. I'm like, oh. I tried to keep my shiny hunts, they're gonna go into the triple digits. I know that's inevitable, but I try to keep them humanly possible. I've never done a successful soft reset shiny. I'm gonna change that in Pokemon Gold though, because I want that Ho-Oh. And there's some other shiny hunts I'm going to be doing in Gold. I've already caught the red Gyarados. I don't really think that's super YouTube worthy unless I'm doing a playthrough. Oh, there goes my chain. Really shouldn't talk when I'm trying to do that. Anyway, I don't think that's really YouTube worthy. If the encounter is set in stone, I'm not going to record it unless it's a Let's Play. I just don't think it's necessary. It's not really going to be a shiny reaction, because you know it's going to be there. That's the whole point of a shiny reaction, is that you don't know that it's going to be shiny. So, you have a shiny reaction. That's what a shiny reaction is. So, I didn't record that, but because of... I don't really want to explain the whole thing. You can Google it if you want, if you don't know, but because of how shiny stuff is... Because of how shininess is generated in gold and silver and crystal, breeding with the shiny Gyarados is extremely effective. It's like a 1 in 100. And if you do a shiny Ditto, it's even better. I'll get to that later. But, so I've already got a Goldeen ready, and I can breed that with Gyarados. So once I get the right gender of Goldeen, I'm going to start doing that. That would have been really insane if that one was shiny, because that's the base odds one. But I'm going to start off with the Goldeen hunt, probably. And then, after that, there's a few different options. One, I could go for a Dratini. If I can find a Dratini, catch the Dratini. This wouldn't be hatching my first shiny dragon. I don't like doing it as much as I like doing other things. The main problem I have with that kind of thing, those eggs are like 10,000 steps. I mean, like, I don't want to do that. I did it for Gibble because Gibble's cool. But I could, if it's a 1 in 100 chance, it's not really going to take as long as it did for Gibble, which was like 300 eggs. I guess not bad when you think about it, but longer than I'd really rather do. But if it's a 1 in 100, I think I can tolerate that. But we'll see. And then there's the other thing. This is going to be the long, grindy option. So I was waiting for a second because I didn't want to, like, start a sentence in the middle of trying to get that. So, the other option is, right next to the daycare you can find wild Dittos. And so, I'm thinking maybe trying to shiny hunt a Ditto. Because, like I said, Ditto's like a 1 in 64. That's better than the shiny Gyarados. And I can breed anything with Ditto if it can breed. So I can go catch a whole bunch of random Pokemon and then get them all shiny in like a few days, like in a week if I do it right, if I'm lucky. So that in the long run would probably get me more shinies, but if you don't know, I'm being kind of non-nerd friendly here. But in Gen 2 games, which is Gold and Silver, it's a 1 in, it's like a 1 in 8,100 chance. Or 8,200, something in that range. It's a lot. Like, these games have double the shiny chance to begin with. And there's no chaining, so, like, my shiny odds are just like that. I mean, I know it's possible and all, but I'm not sure if I want to do that, because that's going to take a really long time. So that's where fan advice comes in. I want to know what you guys think I should be doing with this. If you guys want me to go all shiny Ditto happy and go for the shiny Ditto, that's good. But there's one other thing I could do about the shiny Ditto. If you don't know, I'm not going to explain the whole details of this thing. There is a shiny Ditto trick. I'm not going to call it a glitch because I'm not absolutely convinced it's a glitch. But there is a shiny Ditto trick. And basically it involves trading to a Gen 1 game and then having, if Ditto uses Transform twice, it copies a Pokemon's DVs. They didn't have IVs back then. And then if you trade your shiny Gyarados down, teach it Mimic, so that Mimics transform off a Ditto, and then does all that good stuff. And then Ditto copies its DVs. Since shininess in Pokemon Gold is decided by DVs. You trade your Ditto back up to Gold, it'll be a blue Ditto, not a purple Ditto. So, I don't know if that's a trick, a glitch, or I don't know. But my deal with that thing is I don't have another 3DS. I might come into contact with someone who does, and I might be able to do this. My main thing here is I don't know if you guys have an issue with me getting my shiny Ditto that way, if you can consider it cheating or something like that. I personally am willing to do that. I'm not cheap enough to glitch in a shiny Ditto using that coin case stuff. It's just no. And so I just want to know if you guys are good with me doing that, because if I have an opportunity during the time I'm shiny hunting and I haven't been told by a majority, or like at least 50% or something in those lines, a good number of people, that I should not do it, then I'm going to do it. Because I don't, if at all possible, I would prefer to avoid a full odds shiny hunt in that kind of game. I might attempt a full odds shiny hunt in a different game, but not that game. So, that's just another suggestion. And then, of course, I will be soft resetting for shiny Ho-Oh. I just want to do that. So, there'll be that. But, so for now, I think we should just focus on getting our shiny luvdisc, because we've been really inefficient. So, just gonna start doing encounters as fast as I can. And if anyone is curious, the Seadra at the front of my party is a legit shiny, so I'm gonna put it in my count. I actually nearly failed that. I was very, very close to failing this. Like, I wasn't even paying attention, and I just looked at my screen and thought, hey, that looks like a shiny horsey. I did get it from chain fishing, but I just looked at my screen and was like, I'm pretty sure that's a shiny. And I just started thinking, I'm like, yeah, I think that's shiny. And I was so lucky, too, because it was. Also, if anyone is seeing something that I'm doing wrong that's breaking my chain, please tell me, because I've had no luck chain fishing in this game, which is super surprising, especially after that last chain of like 60. Generally, I get my stuff after 40. Like I said, shouldn't be talking while I try to do this. And yes, I do have a sticky hold Pokemon. It's my shiny Swalot. Somewhat disappointed in shiny Swalot. I was horde hunting just like, try it, and I wanted to start this playthrough out with a shiny. I was doing it right off the bat, and I was thinking, oh, okay. So I could get, it was like Minun hordes, Gulpin hordes, and Scraggy hordes. And I was like, oh, shiny Minun actually looks cool. I could go with that. But I wouldn't really like that for a playthrough. I would really prefer a Scraggy, because Scrafty, it's not like my first choice, but Scrafty can do stuff, But, and then a blue Gulpin shows up on my screen. I'm like, oh, wow. Because Gulpin, I don't really like the Pokemon, but it's actually got a really cool shiny. Like, it's a really nice shiny. Swalot's not too bad either. My main issue with Swalot is, why the heck does that thing have a mustache? I mean, like, seriously, why do all these Pokemon have facial hair? Nosepass has, like, a mustache. And then all these furry, new Alolan Pokemon. Ugh. It's nasty. I mean, why doesn't... I think it's Alolan Golem has, like, a full-on mustache beard thing going there. I mean, why would a giant living piece of rock have a beard? Why, Nintendo? Or Game Freak, or whoever does this. But I'm kind of hoping I can just get this luvdisc thing just wrapped up and done, because I'm kind of sick of luvdisc at this point. I want my shiny. I just want my shiny, and I want to get on hunting Roggenrollas. I mean, shiny Gigalith is super cool. Of course, with my luck, I'm most likely going to get a shiny Mime Jr., but it's a shiny. And I guess I'll take Mime Jr. It's not the most common thing. I don't know where else you can find it. So, I'll take it. But Shiny Rock and Roll is definitely by far the preferred choice. So also, if anyone's curious, most of the shinies I have in my team are legit. The only ones that aren't, well, actually, about half. So I have, I guess you can't see. I'll show it off later, I guess. When we found our shiny and I check it out in the box, I will show off all my shinies that I have in this game. Which is not a whole ton, but a few very impressive ones. Okay. You know, at this point, I think I'm just gonna abort the whole shiny fishing. I'm gonna do this, I think, in Alpha Sapphire later. I don't know. I don't want to quit it if it's something I'm doing for YouTube, so I think I'm just gonna try and stick this one out. You may notice I'm also not counting encounters. I may try and do that with the Roggenrola hunt, but I've long since lost track by now. So I feel like shiny hunting for this kind of thing is so much easier on Alpha Sapphire. I'm now realizing how few non-chain fishing shiny hunts I've done on Alpha Sapphire. I've done one, I think, and that was my shiny Absol hunt. I think I mentioned that earlier. That took me like 500 encounters. That was horrible. Like I said, the first half I didn't even really know how to dex nav chain. I was just kind of encountering things. And I thought like 100 was the max search level and stuff. It was exactly on the 500th encounter. I think that now I'm just gonna shut my head, because I think that the more I talk, the more it distracts me, and the more I get distracted, the less efficient this is, because I'll stop in the middle of an encounter to like make a point, and during my encounter attempts, like I nearly failed that one. So, shutting my head down. At least until I get a shiny. Okay, that was just bad. Now, I wonder, sound like one of those good... I can't really see. I'm trying... Can I fish, like, right here between those rocks? Because I think that's a better thing. Oh, I can. That's nice. Okay, so I've just found a better spot, so that's good. I think this helps a little bit. But you probably saw once I shut my head, I was a lot more efficient. It may be just that I get it faster. I have no idea. I think this helps, so. Whether or not it actually helps, I'm gonna do it. Also, I think that assuming I break this chain at some point before I get my shiny luvdisc, I'm going to switch out one of my Hydra for a different Pokemon. I don't know if you can see, but this is named Hydra. For one of my other shinies in my party, just to showcase them, and so that you don't have to look at the same shiny every time I do it. I don't know, but I just prefer to switch them out eventually. No, that's not what I want. One of my favorite parts about shinies in these games is how much and I mean obviously better, the shiny little sparkle thing is. Like, all the other games, it's some little twirly sparkle thing. But in this game, it's like a full twirly thing and a floof. Don't know how accurate my descriptions are, but I think that the shiny animation in these games is a lot better than in any other game. Especially in Gold. Though the shiny reaction, or shiny, not reaction, animation in Gold is really not that bad. This one's better, though. I also value shinies in these games slightly more. I just feel like as the generations go up, they make it easier. Like, now, certain shinies, luckily, it's only certain shinies, you can get like a 36% chance. I actually caught my first shiny with that wormhole thing. I didn't even realize I could get shinies that way outside of the normal rate. I just thought, oh hey, these are reasonably rare Pokemon at least. I'd better go check out what's there in case there's anything interesting. So I just kind of went on an exploration spree, and then I found a Stunfisk, and it did the little sparkle thing. I'd never had a shiny in those games before, so I didn't know what it looked like. I was like, oh my gosh, I think that's a shiny. So, and I never really noticed Stunfisk. I mean, I was considered a little bit beneath me, because really, what does it do? I'm sorry if anyone watching this likes Stunfisk, but I don't really like Stunfisk outside of the fact that it was my first shiny. Well, the first one that I caught. So then I actually figured out it was a shiny. And I caught it. I have not once failed a shiny in the main series games. I'm proud to say that. For Red Gyarados, I've had to soft reset a few times when I was catching it in my playthrough of Gold, because I had like 2 Pokeballs, and apparently Mahogany Town does not have a Pokemart. Don't know why. I mean, I'm bad at finding Pokemarts. Like, at one point I had to buy some Awakenings. I forgot what that town's called. But the one with the 4th gym, the Ghost-type gym, I had to run around for like 2 or 3 minutes just trying to find the Pokemart. Normally, it shouldn't take me that long, but in that game it does. No convenient blue roofs like in Alpha Sapphire. It's not conveniently located in the back like in this game and then Gen 7. I wonder what they'll do about that in Gen 8. It'd be interesting to see. But at the rate I'm going in this playthrough, it's going to take me about another year to finish it. I don't honestly know. None of the Pokemon I chose seem to be that great, to be honest. I mean, I get to the Elite Four. I've got it in the bag. I'll show you later, because you can't see my bottom screen, but I'll show you why later, but if I can make it that far, I've got it in the bag. I mean, at the rate I'm going, I'm probably not even gonna catch Yveltal. I'm probably, if I do catch it, I'm gonna have to Master Ball it. Because honestly, my team is... It may be just because my team is so over-leveled that I'm trying not to use them and use my other weaker Pokemon that I feel so weak. Maybe it's that. It also may be because when I was doing my shiny hunt, by the time I got my shiny Gulpin, I was pretty much over it at that point. I mean, with a lot of shiny hunts, I can stick it out until I get the shiny, but at that point, I'm going to need to take a break before I go back at it. Like, the second I get a shiny Luvdisc, I'm sick of Luvdisc. I mean, I've been shiny hunting that basically since I got to Solash City, but yet I haven't found one. Don't know why. And it should be obvious, but in this game I do not have the shiny charm. I've never gotten a shiny charm in my life. I might in Ultramoon. That would probably be within my best interests to put an effort at it. I've never really tried. I've always figured, well, maybe I'll do a playthrough one of these days and just throw Pokeballs at everything I see. It might or might not be that simple. If you do know, please tell me in the comments. That's a lot of things that will be going in the comments if people answer my questions. But I am curious to know how hard that actually is. Because I know QR coding things doesn't work. I mean, I got all excited about that because I thought, oh, I can just complete my Pokédex and all QR codes. It'll be all good and I'll get my shiny charm and then I can go on the shiny catching spree. But no, you actually have to catch it. And then evolve everything you can't catch. and then trade for some version exclusives. Version exclusives, I must say, either I trade with stupid people or they're valuable. Like I traded a Celestial to someone who I'm assuming was an Ultra Sun for their shiny Articuno. Decent deal if you ask me. By that, I'm guessing that their Articuno was hacked. So, it's shiny though. So I think I'm just gonna grind in silence for the next while. Sorry if the video isn't super focused. It takes the camera I'm using a minute to focus. But it does it automatically. Which is nice, so I don't have to try to focus it every time I change screens. Which means when my shiny luvdisc comes on screen, it may or may not be in crystal clear focus. Hoping it will be. Hopefully my reaction will be. I'm thinking maybe we should put this shiny hunt on hold. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of over it at this point. I generally find my chain fishing shinies a lot quicker than this. I don't know. I was kind of hoping to just start my channel off with a shiny, and I figured, oh, chain fishing's an easy way to do that, so let's just keep at it for another chain. I'm gonna try and get this one. I think at the 45-minute mark, I'm gonna cut, take a break. I think I can actually pause the video without ending it, so I don't know what that's gonna look like on your end, but I'm hoping that what that doesn't do is for the 5 minutes or so I'm gonna take a break for, you'll just be staring at whatever the last frame was. Hopefully not. I mean, I'll try to make it like a nice frame or something. I don't know. I guess I'll figure that out. There's a first time for everything. So I guess this is how many encounters can I do in 1 minute. Let's find out. So that was one. Two. I hope I don't get the shiny doing this, because I'm actually kind of curious. My guess would be 4. I'm trying to pause it close to the 45-minute mark as possible, just because. Okay, so it'll be a little bit over 45 minutes. So 3 or 4 encounters, basically, per minute. So, decent, I guess. So we'll do this last one shiny check, then I'll cut. So, I'll be back in a second. Alright, everyone, I'm back. I'm not sure what that looked like on your end. I'm guessing that it just automatically went to this scene. There wasn't really much of a gap or anything really like that. But you may have noticed I pulled up a 6th gen shiny calculator on the computer behind my 3DS. So I will link in the description to this, because I'm not trying to plagiarize anyone here. But, so, I'm estimating we've got a chain of 6 at the moment. So, shiny odds 1 in 316, which is a lot. I was curious, so I checked shiny charm. 1 in 274, so it doesn't look shiny. It doesn't really look like shiny charms really work too well with chain fishing. Normally, that's pretty good, but alright. Let's get back to doing this. I also did a quick Google search for a guide. Apparently, I can feint or catch the Pokemon, so I can actually do multiple shinies in a chain, apparently. Wow. That was a really big jump in shiny odds. And so our odds max out at 20 for our chain at 1 in 100. So, it's good odds. And so once we start horde hunting, I'm going to use this not to calculate our odds, but to just keep a counter going. If it'll focus, we're up to 1 in 241. Ah, no. Sorry about that. Okay, yes, I think we're good. No clue how much of the screen it's actually showing. I try to show at least my Pokemon's health bars. Looks like pretty much the whole screen. Going in and out of focus a little bit, but nonetheless, it's most of the screen. I think that's another encounter. Once things stop moving on the screen, it generally will focus correctly. No shiny luvdisc. 1 in 179 odds though, that's not bad. And if anyone's curious, I do have Pokeballs. I made sure I did. I've got, like, 12, I think. We can catch one measly luvdisc with that, right? I hope so. I really hope so. It's another encounter. Did I count that one? I don't think I counted that one. I may be off one, so... I don't know. I don't think I counted it, though. Hope I'm right. But we're going to have some fun chain fishing in this game at some point, because I think there's a lot more Pokemon you can chain fish in this game. And some fun ones like Shellder. Shellder's not my favorite Pokemon, but I love its shiny. I mean, Shellder looks really cool in orange. Not my favorite shiny. My favorite shiny is probably Charizard. I mean, like, Charizard was, like, my favorite Pokemon before I saw that, and I know that's really not that original, but Charizard was, like, I didn't even know, I kind of knew that everyone liked Charizard. When I first, wait, was that shiny? No, okay, no. I thought for a second I saw shiny. Um, when I first started Pokemon, I started playing the trading card game, and so everyone was like, oh yeah, you really want Mega Charizard, and all that. So, I got the Charizard package. Not the right Charizard package, but it was a Charizard package. And I was expecting Charizard to look not like a dragon. I was expecting something more like a Regirock with like veins of lava running through it or something. Not a giant flaming dragon. So that was I liked it before I even knew why everyone liked it. And then I hadn't even seen it shiny yet at that point. Just made me like it even more. At the moment, I've got 2 shiny Charizards. Sadly, I don't have any way to confirm the legitimacy of either of them. That will change. If I can find a way to get a shiny, or not, if I can get a Charmander on gold, I'm going to get the yellow Charmander. I also checked before starting the video, the max shiny odds you can have, well, the best odds you can have are 1 in 96 with the shiny Charm 20 chain. So, that's good odds. It's better than 1%. So, we are now at our maximum shiny odds. I need to quit looking at the camera screen because the camera screen, all luvdisc look yellow. At least somewhat, anyway. Like, I think I see a shiny... Hopefully we can find this shiny soon. I wasn't honestly expecting it to take this long. If I had known it was going to take this long, I probably wouldn't have recorded today. Just done it tomorrow. And started that video with the shiny encounter. I forgot to add a... I think I missed 2. So, we're up to 22 for a chain. 23. So, we got a good chain going. Just try not to break it, I guess. Should be our strategy. Sorry if there's a little bit of background noises. I think there's a cat yowling, a loud cat. if anyone's curious, I am going to name our shiny Lemonade. So I'm not, like, relying on people to come up with names. I may do that in the future, but at the moment I don't think I've got access to a name raider in either of my Gen 6 games at the moment, because I reset both of them so I could play it again. Not stupid, I put everything I could in bank, but I wanted to play them again. I'm probably gonna do some special Let's Play for Alpha Sapphire. Shiny Locker, something of that nature. And I think I missed another encounter on my counter thing. I'm hoping we can get our shiny before a chain of 50. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Sorry if I'm missing encounters and stuff on my counter. I'm not really that used to doing, like, counters and stuff. I generally don't do this kind of thing for YouTube, so it's kind of a new thing for me, so please cut me a little bit of slack if I'm missing things. When we start doing our Rock and Rolla thing, I'm going to get... I'll explain it when I do it, but I'm going to make sure I keep a counter. I'll explain the finer points of it when I actually do it. Not, if I start doing Rock and Roll as this episode, it will not be the fancy counter, it'll be this one. I might not even do the fancy counter, it just depends on some things. I'm not going to get people's hopes up, and I don't want to waste the time to explain it. I'll explain it if it's relevant. But I think under 50 chain is a good goal. We're at 30 right now. Under 30 would be nice, but is obviously not going to happen. Most I've gotten around 30. If I get them around 30. I haven't had a ton of luck with chain fishing lately. I haven't had a ton of luck with shinies in general lately. Outside of the shiny Bomb the Snow today, but that was a Ultra Wormhole. So that's not really surprising. With Ultra Wormholes, generally, if you try and land in a good wormhole, and you get a good, good light years, you've got a pretty good chance of it. If I don't crash land, I can make 4,000 or 5,000 pretty reliably. So I'm actually good at it. And even then, in a Tier 1 wormhole at 5 light years, not that it matters with those, you still got a 1% chance to find a shiny, which is what we're getting doing this. I think I missed that encounter, so... Wrong button. But, like, my camera angle is perfect. So I'm just getting my 3DS screen and the relevant part of the computer screen. Under 40 would be super nice. Don't think it's gonna happen, but I feel like under 50 is more realistic. Trying to be a little bit realistic here, but it'll probably happen around then. Once again, sorry if you can hear a cat. Okay, well, there goes our chain, so... So, I'm gonna keep track of our chains in the... Well... Dex Nav Shiny Calculator thing. So that, like, I know what we were at. If I type it correctly. I can do that. Whoa, you're pretty screwed up right now. It's kind of hard to type if you're balancing two electronics on top of the keyboard. Just saying. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's see if I can rebalance this thing. Go. Okay, now just gotta get the chain in there. Scoot a little bit backward. Just a little at a time. Now. Pretty much perfect. Yeah, there. Maybe slightly crooked, but I'm hoping I can just kind of end this video soon. I was really hoping to get a shiny. That would have been funny if that one was shiny. So I'm just going to try and do this as fast as possible. As is humanly possible, anyway. I feel so cheated at the moment, realizing that my odds are about as good as a search level 999 on a Dex Nav. Just saying. And I'm doing this like at 3 encounters a minute. And it's going up. At this point, I think that this is the point where I can actually somewhat expect to see a shiny. We're at 1 in 152, so not bad, not super high, but for a shiny, that's insane. I have no clue how that was too slow, but okay. So, chain number 2, well, chain number like 5, is a bust. So, in total, 49 encounters. Well, since I started doing my chain anyway, well, since I started counting, it's been 49 encounters. So, let's see if we can get this. I'm kind of losing patience with it, but I'm not gonna quit. I'm just gonna stick this hunt out. But at this point, I'm kind of thinking we're not really gonna have time to do Roggenrillas, so that'll be for tomorrow. And I should be uploading tomorrow, so don't worry. Sorry if I missed an encounter, I think I might have. I don't know. I think it's better to be behind one than ahead one. So, since we're at the... I'm now trying to see how many encounters we can do in a minute. Again, I'm just trying to see if I can beat 3. So, basically, I'm in express mode right now. soon we'll be able to reasonably expect a shiny. Looking like it's going to be about 3. So yeah, it's looking like about 3 minutes. So, pretty close. I'm going to be expecting a shiny around the 100, 1 and 150 mark. That's when I'm going to start seriously thinking we might find a shiny. So I think I'm going to amend my original goals and say that I'm after the shiny before the hour-and-a-half mark. See if we can get a shiny in 10 minutes. Oh, 10.5 minutes, around that. Something in that area. Or at least get it soon after. Whoa. Alright. Sorry about that. Had to do my encounter first because I don't want to break my chain. And then worry about fixing the camera. Sorry about that. Alright, like I said, I'm trying to get recording stuff figured out, but sadly I do not have a recording card, so I kind of have to make do with this. Get a little bit more centered. I think we're good. Alright, that's good. Basically have the whole screen. So obviously, even if we were to make my goal, the video is going to be longer than an hour and a half probably, because shinies don't instantly catch. I mean, I don't know how, if I'm going to fight it. I'm thinking of doing a test fight, maybe. You know, I think I'm going to do that if this one's not shiny. It's not, so I'm gonna switch to one of my other Pokemon. One of my weaker Pokemon. I don't know if I have any of my weaker Pokemon on me. Okay, I don't, so... Never mind. Because I think Hydro could probably one-hit it. And I don't want that. I'm not gonna risk it, because I think that breaks my chain no matter what it says. I guess I'm just playing it safe here. We're up to max shiny odds at the moment. I don't think I'd make my goal if I was to lose the chain now. Unless we got insanely lucky. And we're about due for a good dose of luck at this point. I'd say we're about due any encounter now. So, prepare yourselves for a shiny reaction. I honestly, it's hard to say how good a shiny reaction is gonna be. It just depends on whether or not I drop the camera. I'm not actually holding the camera, but I might kick the desk or something like that. And if my sentences are a little bit choppy, that's because I'm trying not to be talking when I'm fishing, because that makes it a little bit harder for me. Like I said, trying not to lose this chain. Because I wouldn't be too surprised to find a shiny. I'm going to be surprised to find a shiny, but I wouldn't be shocked to learn that I'm going to find it in the next 6 minutes. Because, I mean, it's the rate I'm going, but not if I break the chain. So we're basically now at 10 encounters at a 1% chance. I'm not sure if that means there's a 10% chance for us to have gotten a shiny. Sorry that I didn't realize it was gonna take that long to find it, but anyway, I don't know if that means that we're gonna have a 10% chance of a shiny. I don't really want to do the statistics math right now, because it's kind of late, as you can see from the game. It's sunset in the game. But see if we can get a shiny in 4 minutes. But when we do find the shiny, If the camera goes like black and you hear me shrieking before you actually see the shiny, there is a slight bit of lag between the event occurring on my 3DS and the event occurring on the camera. So if you see that, I just had extremely quick of a shiny reaction. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully I don't even knock the camera over. Really worried that I might, but hope that's a moot point. But I promise next episode, when we do the Rock and Roll hunt, I'm going to count my encounters correctly. So I am sure it's a little bit off, aside from the fact that the first part of this shiny hunt, a good part of it I didn't even record because I was hoping to start the video with the shiny on my screen, but can't have everything, I guess. Okay, so it's not looking like I'm gonna get the shiny at the minute and a half mark. I mean, unless like the next 2 or 3, 4 or 5 encounters are shiny, then no. What would be really funny, and I feel like this is going to happen to me someday, is if I get my shiny and I'm done chaining in like the grass or whatever it is, so I'm heading back to the Pokemon Center to check on what I got and look at it in the box and check its summary and all that good stuff, and I'm just walking through the grass and I just find another random shiny. That would be just so... that would be pretty cool. I think I missed an encounter. But I found random shinies before while looking for other shinies. In Ultra Moon, I was looking for a bag on, I think, Route 3 or Route 9 to get a shiny bag on. And so then I'm just looking around in the grass, and I find just this random yellow Spearow. So that was cool. I did find the bag on, and I did find the shiny bag on. So that was like 2 shinies in one night. That was really cool, actually. It's a rather torturous hunt, too, because of Dragon Breath. Because that can paralyze you, you know. Yeah, we're not getting the minute or hour and a half shiny. We'll keep going for a while longer, though, just to see if we can get it. I mean, if the next encounter is shiny, that'd be cool. I think under 50 is a good goal. Yeah, no. Well, I think when the chain gets to 100, I think I'm just going to call it a night. I hope we find it before then, so that my first video on my channel is shiny luvdisc. Everything's better when you start it with a shiny. That sounds like some kind of dopey commercial, but... Also, am I the only one who notices that, what's his face? Cedra's tail is like a little bit to the side, it's not like perfectly straight. Just saying. Just random fact. It's been really unproductive for chain fishing. Like, a chain fish, you could get, like, 2 or 3 shinies in the time that I've spent shiny hunting. I mean, with luck, anyway. I don't think I counted that in my thing. I'm thinking maybe not under 50. I don't know. 6 more encounters, that's... I think it's 6% chance. Maybe better, I don't know. I don't really want to do statistics right now. But yeah, it's like a 5% chance that I get it. So, I mean, 1 in 20 is not bad. Now, 1 in 25. Nope. Every time I see a non-shiny luvdisc, it's so frustrating. But, I think that I'm going to continue this chain in the next episode, assuming if I get a shiny, I'm going to continue the chain to see how many more encounters it takes me to get a shiny, to see if that catch, to prove, I'm going to do the next encounter, then I'll finish. To prove whether or not you can catch a Pokemon and have it break your chain. Because I've seen things that say you can kill it, you can run, you can catch it, you can do whatever, and you won't break your chain. And then I've seen things that say if you kill it or catch it, you break your chain. So, I don't know. I know running works, but I want to see if you can catch it, so that just to know, like, can I chain, say, Claunchers, get a shiny, catch it, keep going, and get another shiny Clauncher without breaking my chain. It's a curiosity thing, and a possible valuable lesson for things like Shelter, where I want to keep a shiny Shelter, not as a Cloyster. I'm not like a shiny living dex fanatic or anything, but, you know, personally, I think that the shiny living dex is a little bit ambitious. Depending on how my YouTube channel goes, I may actually try. I mean, if Friend Safariing and stuff like that and the YouTube channel works out, I'll give it a shot, but I hope you're not going to try and get me to come up with shiny mythicals. That's the main deal I have with it, is the shiny mythicals, which are mostly shiny locked. Alright, this is encounter number 50. No. Exactly 50 would have been cool, but... nice even number. I generally don't count my encounters. I think I've said this before. The only reason I mentioned the Absol that took me exactly 500, I knew that because I started with a search level of 20. And my search level was 520 when I found it. and I wasn't even looking at the screen when I encountered it, so I just look at the screen and see that, like, red horn. I'm like, oh. You know, if only fishing was this easy in real life. Now that we're getting, like, so low shinies, I'm thinking that a shiny charm may be a worthy investment at some point. I don't know. But after my quest to 100 shinies is done, or if I've got time to do other things, I want suggestions of what I should do. I mean, like, I could do Let's Plays, I could do one of those shiny lock things, or other playthrough that ends in lock. It's like 50 of them. But if you want me to do one of those, I can do it. I figure what can be harder than a shiny lock, and, well, more testing of my patience anyway. And if we do one, I'm willing to soft reset to get a shiny starter or something like that. I would prefer to do that in my Alpha Sapphire game so that I can soft reset and get the shiny Trico. But if I get a lot of requests to do it with something else, I guess I could make that happen. I prefer to not do it with gold, though. So we're approaching 60 chained encounters. So, hoping for that shiny luvdisc. Not looking too hopeful that it's going to be... I'm expecting to get it in this video, but it might not be in this chain. I honestly don't know. With shinies, it's hard to say. I can't say much other than what I can... Other than that I expected in this video. Once again, I'm sorry that if you think it's weird that I'm pausing, like, right then, but it's really hard to concentrate and talk. Well, concentrate on something like that and talk at the same time. So I'll try to work around it in the future, but... I feel like if I find a shiny, I'm gonna run from it or something. That'd be funny for you guys, but not for me. $60 even encounters. Maybe more. The reason I say maybe more is because, like I said, I generally don't count my encounters, so I may have missed a few. well, there goes our chain. I don't know why it does that. Ah. Alright. So, go through for another 39 encounters. Well, 39 1% encounters. Alright, let's better get started, I guess. So, it's like 59 encounters. So, going up to 59. At that point, I'm going to end the video because I don't really want to spend 3 hours trying to get this in one video. I just kind of want to get this on YouTube. I really want that shiny in the first episode, but as I said earlier, you can't have everything. You know, generally I've got decent luck with shinies, but I guess not today. My luck has really not been the best lately. Like, 500 encounters for that Absol. And then there is a few more failed shiny hunts in there. And then there's this. Like, 3 or 4 hours shiny hunting for one stupid luvdisc. That 99%, well, not 99%, but a good part of the time I've got a 1% chance to encounter it as a shiny. Hopefully at least the sheer number of encounters that we do on this will just kind of help maybe slightly speed along our Roggenrola hunt. Because I don't like long horde hunts. They're fairly mindless, but still, it just kind of gets monotonous after a while. What's fun to do is to horde hunt for a while, and then when it gets to the point where we've got 999 things done, if you're in Alpha Sapphire or something like that, you can just dex nav it. I tried doing that with Aron, still no luck. I'll probably record the last stages of the hunt, get the shiny reaction, things like that. All that good stuff. A little bit worried I wouldn't get that one. At this point, I think I'm more likely to just run this little river, lake, or ocean out of luvdisc, rather than get a shiny. I never really understood the logic of why an enclosed area is more likely to yield a fish. I mean, it seems like it'd be the other way around, to be honest. I'm not a professional fisherman, though, so I don't know. get another, like, what would it be? 55 encounters? 57 encounters, I think. Sorry, I'm tired. I think that, well, 47. Yeah, I'm tired. I think that probably call it a night, get this video uploaded, and finish the hunt tomorrow. So I think tomorrow, if it stretches into tomorrow, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna record the whole hunt and then cut to the part where I actually get the shiny, so that you get the shiny reaction, but you don't really have to watch me go 4 hours just hunting pink luvdisc. But if it stretches into tomorrow, I think I'm just gonna trash the whole trying getting a second shiny out of it, because I'm kind of sick of luvdisc, really. With Shelter, I'll do that, I think. When we go for the Shelter. If I find a shiny, it's probably going to be when I'm getting a drink, and then I'm just going to, like, snort whatever I'm drinking out my nose. That would hurt so bad. Probably sound really weird on the camera, too, because I kind of sound weird on cameras anyway, but it'd be a funny reaction. And an original reaction, I think. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. $50 more encounters. That sounds like a lot. Three encounters a minute, that's only like 15 minutes though, so, well, through the mouse. Where's my cursor? They should add nets to Pokemon. That would make this all way faster. Of course. Kind of takes the fun out of it. a fun shiny hunt to do at some point, a long one, but a really long one, would be to try at some point to find an all shiny horde. It would be more of like a bragging rights thing, because it would be super depressing to have to take down 4 shinies, but still. And then you can just think of how many shiny hordes I'd find just trying to find that 5 shiny horde. I'd have to switch when I'm hunting a few times so I get a few different shinies, but still, that'd be fun. An excuse to horde hunt more. Kind of have mixed feelings about horde hunting. It gets you shinies, but it's never really worked particularly well for me, and by that I doesn't mean I haven't gotten shinies, but my issue with it is there's always 2 or 3 hordes, so you never know what you're gonna get. And that's not always a good thing because, like I said, I wound up with a shiny Gulpin. I mean, shiny Gulpin's cool, but it's not exactly what you want for a playthrough. I mean, a shiny Scraggy would have been awesome. Scrafty doesn't have the best shiny, but it's not like a competitive grade Pokemon, I don't think, but it's good. I feel like I would have found a shiny in a random encounter by now. It's not, other than doing this. We're slowly working our way towards our goal. At that point, I'm not going to break our chain. I'm just going to close the lid of the 3DS. So, tomorrow I'll just start right back up there, but for a second there, I thought that was shiny. It's kind of hard to tell when it's dark in Pokemon. Like, it's not, it looks a little bit shiny sometimes. Maybe that's just me being tired, but I always hate those Pokemon who sometimes look shiny when they're not. So annoying. Because you get a good look at them, they're obviously not shiny. And then when they are shiny, I think Luvdisc is a pretty obvious shiny. I've never actually found one, but I'm pretty sure it's obvious. I know what it looks like. I think it's obvious. It's always nice when shinies are obvious. "22 more encounters to go. Yippee." Like a 22% chance of a shiny, so that's actually 1 in 5. I'm guessing we're probably gonna get the shiny. It's a bit worried there. I thought it had done one of those little things where I'd like reel it in as fast as I do every time usually, and then it says I didn't reel it in fast enough. I really hate it when that happens. Probably would have gotten a shiny now if it wasn't for that. Super nice when you don't actually have to chain. Chaining makes everything a little bit more difficult. Sometimes it's not that hard. Like right now, generally chain fishing is not really that hard. You're just gonna kind of concentrate when you're fishing, but other than that, it's really easy. Can get you a lot of quick and easy shinies. Shiny Luvdiscs are all over the place. Like, if we get one in the near future, and we're not at like 3 hours of footage, I'll go on the GTS just to see how many shiny Luvdisc there are. I mean, there's gonna be a whole bunch of shiny Luvdisc there anyway, people asking for Genesects, but there's gonna be a bunch of shinies. GTS is really not the best place to look for shinies, because on the GTS, everyone wants mythicals, even though you can't even trade mythicals usually on the GTS. So, I feel the GTS is somewhat pointless. They need to make it so you can't request a mythical. That was my fault. Me getting tired. But 13 more encounters. So 33. Takes longer and longer. Really should have done the GTS thing then, when I broke it. Too bad. Do that again. Alright, so we're back when I started. Getting restless. Try and wrap this up fast. So yeah, we're definitely not doing any rock and roll encounters, because this took way longer than I feel like it should have. I think I missed 2 encounters there. So I think I'm going to go for another 12 minutes rather than a specific encounter goal. So I don't know when this is going to end. That one came pretty early. Nearly lost it too, because I got surprised. At this point, my hopes for getting it in this video are pretty low. So, I mean, I may have just jinxed it in my favor. I don't know. But or I may have already jinxed it to not be a shiny. I don't know. We'll see. 125, so any encounter now could be. So basically for the next 9 minutes, assuming I can keep the chain up that long, we've got basically a 1% chance. Yeah, why did I do that? Don't think that breaks my chain, but I think you can enter a menu without breaking your chain. I don't know. I don't want to stretch my luck. But I'm very obviously getting tired. But I'm ending in 8 minutes, so I'll be fine. Hopefully we can get a shiny by then, but probably not, honestly. Especially if I just broke that chain. I'm gonna choose to believe I didn't because I can use all the morale I can get at this point. Well, that broke our chain. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that I'm only doing this until, for the next 5 or so minutes. And that broke our chain again. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit fidgety, but the next video I will start when I get my shiny, so you won't have to watch 2.5 hours of pointless shiny hunting. I mean, it's completely possible that we'll get a shiny in the next 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Approximately 15 encounters, so we could get it. Wouldn't be, like, hugely surprising, like a random shiny, but on, like, the 15th encounter, yeah, sure, we could get it. That's, like, a 0.5%, so, I mean, not the best, but 0.5%, that's feasible. At the moment, if I got a shiny, I might not even notice it until I watch the video later. Also, a pretty good sign that I should probably be finishing up soon. But 3 more minutes. I don't think we're gonna get the shiny this episode, but that's okay. You'll see me start the next one with it. If I don't get it tomorrow, then that's then I start wondering if I'm doing this correctly. Because, like, this is going on, I think, 4 hours. And I know it's completely possible for me to have bad luck, but I generally have bad luck with shinies, at least lately anyway. But it's never been close to this bad. But anyway, unless we get a shiny in the next few encounters, this is pretty much going to be it for the episode. So I really hope you enjoyed the episode. This is, like I said, like 3 times, my first episode on this channel. So, please subscribe to my channel, because I will be trying to upload as fast as I can. The shiny will probably be tomorrow. At least one shiny tomorrow. maybe 2. I might do some wormhole hunting just to get shinies on the channel. So, that's all going to be there. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. And so, in a minute and a half, or a few encounters, I will see you all next time on my next episode of my quest for 100 shinies, which may or may not last a few months. I guess we'll see. But I went over all the rule stuff at the beginning. Or, not really rules, but what I am and am not counting. So, thank you guys all for watching, and in 2 encounters, I will end the video. So, thanks.